Welcome to Square Root Justice, hosted by Rita La Therese, where we will shed light, give voice, and invoke positive thought and reform on current and social justice inequalities. Humanity, Jesus, justice. Humanity, Jesus, justice. Square root justice. Square root justice. Square root justice. Square root justice. Hello, Square Root Justice fans. I was blessed with a trip to go to New York after the passing of my uncle, whom I was taking care of. Not knowing that during my time in New York, the U.S. Open would also be going on simultaneous to my visit there. I had the wonderful opportunity of going over to the U.S. Open the day Serena Williams, the great tennis icon and legend, was playing in what may have been her final tennis match. And I had a chance to speak with some fans. So let's check it out and see what the fans had to say. By the way, do you like the jewelry that I'm wearing? You can have it too, Irresistible Pearls. Check her out on Facebook at Irresistible Pearls. Hello, Square Root Justice fans. This is Rita La Therese live at the U.S. Open. Tonight, Serena Williams plays round 3 of singles. This is an epic event in that this may be her last professional bout in professional tennis. And I will be speaking with some of the fans here, as you can see coming in and walking behind me, headed to the U.S. Open. We'll be speaking to them about the impact that Serena Williams has had on the world of tennis.
O banho de um partido,
Square Root Justice family, I have Joaquin and Miss Jamie Wallace here. They are here to see Serena Williams at the U.S. Open. Can you tell me why Serena's brand is iconic to the world of tennis, and not just the world of tennis, but to the world, including her diversity and, her persona?
Well, first of all, I believe that Serena represents a climb, an ascending climb to all things connected to African American women. Specifically, representation matters. So little girls all over the world have been picking up tennis rackets for the last 20 years, and we see that we see Coco, we see Naomi, we see other black women out there playing tennis. I purchased items for my granddaughter because I think Serena represents, from the community to a place where people respect her because of her skill. But more importantly, I believe that she has exhibited what we need to see as black women in the boardroom, as an entrepreneur, but also somebody that has decided to make her own choices about her life. But what's most important is, I think, we need to look at how her black family ascended and took her to where she is. From the standpoint, her father was not as educated as most. The mom was a workaholic, and they figured out a way to make sure that their daughters were able to, first of all, participate in the sport that they love, win at the sport that they love, and ascend to these heights. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm here and I support tennis. I came all the way from California to be here on this day to support Serena.
Very nice. Mr. Joaquin,
What's
How
up?
do you feel Serena's brand has impacted the world of tennis and the world in general?
Well, I would say if you just take a look at the crowd, I mean, you see a lot of people look like her, which is important. And as she mentioned earlier, in terms of little girls, I mean, just to have that role model is important. We have 3 girls ourselves. Sports has been very impactful in their lives. I always say sports is the windows of life as a former coach, so I do understand how important that is. But most importantly, it shows that you can be successful. And it shows that you deal with the diversity, the hurdles that come your way, the extraneous events that do happen. She's been able to overcome those, and now you see what she's been able to do. And this has been a great opportunity for her because despite it all, she may have a chance to win this U.S. Open as well. People that counted her out. But again, you look at all the people that's coming, Spike Lee, Queen Latifah, Tiger Woods, all of the people that's supporting her is important. It shows how important she has been, how impactful she's been in the community.
How has her style culturally defined the world of tennis?
As a black woman, we come with all types of hair, right? And I'll focus on hair because black women spend billions of dollars in this industry. I've seen Serena start with beads and cornrows and end with her own hair. Also, she'll put a ponytail on, rock it. I think people are talking about, are those real diamonds? And as an African American woman, one of the things that we do in the marketplace is how we look is how everyone else wants to look. So her brand has ascended anybody else playing on that tennis court today. She is it.
Mr. Joaquin, how has Serena compared herself to men in this field?
Well, I think that she's in it's total equilibrium. I mean, when you look at the men and look at the women, you have a lot of men professional players today is giving her flowers, so to speak. So it really isn't about female and male in this situation. It's pretty much an equilibrium because she has been a stalwart in this game, and a lot of people, men and women, have been accepted her, so to speak, have come out and supported her. And you can see here, I mean, we went to the doubles match last night. We have people that have never even watched tennis coming to watch her play. Black, white, it doesn't matter in terms of ethnicities. There's a lot of people that support her, men and women, and you can tell they want to see her win because her importance to the brand.
If Serena makes this her last professional debut, how would you like to see her legacy carried on in the world of tennis?
Oh my goodness. Little black girls running to U.S. U.S. tennis associations all over the country, picking up a racket and playing tennis. Even if you're not the next Serena Williams, just the fact that you make an effort to try to do something different. I also think that her boldness in who she is will help with self-esteem and confidence, which, you know, for African American young girls, that's a huge obstacle. But I think what I think is most important, win, lose, or draw, they know that Serena tried her best and ascended to the highest heights.
I agree wholeheartedly, 100%.
Well, I would say that she said it in her second match, that she has nothing to prove. She's done everything you can do in the sport of tennis. So at this point, she just continued carrying the torch and allowing other people to follow her as well. She's opened up the gates for a lot of individuals to play black, white. It really doesn't matter at this point. But the main thing you want to see, what I love about sports, is in particular women's sports, women athletes, it's been proven how they're able to sustain in life and how they're able to have their self-esteem and confidence grow. So what she's been able to do has been outstanding, and I hope that legacy continues on.
Do you think her style will improve make equal the wealth gap of female and male tennis players and athletes, professional, period?
Well, first of all, Serena and Venus were a part of the whole process in making sure that there was equilibrium in the pay structure for tennis. So you have to have someone bold, and typically that person is of color, to change the game, because we know how it is to starve and we know how it is to do well in life. So the pay gap, I think the Williams sisters are one of the reasons why that gap has lessened. But I think to your question, it's really important for people to understand that you have to be excellent in order to get to this point. You can't just pick up a tennis racket and think you're going to be a millionaire. It takes effort, it takes sacrifice, skill, working on your craft. And I think that's a lesson that our African American children or children of color should learn, that you have to put the work in.
Absolutely.
Well, I would say the fact of the matter is that, again, we go back to what she's done. She's been outstanding, and her legacy will continue to move forward. In terms of the wealth gap, you do see it in all sports. Basketball, women's basketball, track and field, if you will, in terms of female track and field athletes compared to men's track and field athletes. That gap does need to shrink. It does need a lot more awareness. First and foremost, that to happen, but I do think it's starting to shrink to some degree because you're getting more exposure, and you got a lot of people that's actually supporting the sport as well with TV, if you will, advertising. So they see that there is an opportunity there. It's just getting them to kind of buy in, so to speak, corporate athlete in terms of corporation, so to speak. So if they're able to do that, I think the gap will shrink. Will it ever become equilibrium? We don't know, but it is making a gradual improvement.
One last question.
Sure.
Is Serena Williams, Serena and Venus, the Colin Kaepernick of tennis?
I think they're actually larger than Colin Kaepernick, because being from the Bay Area, we're San Francisco 49er fans, and Colin Kaepernick has done well. However, Colin Kaepernick, his plight was a little different. As African American women, it's not likely that you'll have two sisters from the same family who ascend sports. If you walk through this center, you'll see their pictures everywhere. They have records. A lot of people come into tennis, they last 3 or 4 good years and they're out. Serena is over 40 years old, and so is Venus. Who does that? So when you think about the ascension, it's been happening in front of our eyes for a very long time. They have actually changed the game of tennis.
Well, in terms of Colin Kaepernick, I mean, that's a huge icon, and we've seen what he's been able to do in terms of justice. But do they have some similarities? They do have similarities in the fact that they have brought awareness to this sport, which is important. I mean, to the same degree, we don't know, but we know that it's still a ascending situation for both of them. And as she mentioned earlier, the fact that you have both sisters have been able to do well has been outstanding itself. And we'll see how it continues to move forward, but they have been pivotal in this sport.
Thank you both for taking this time to speak with me and the fans at Square Root Justice. You can find us at Square Root Justice on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also YouTube. Thank you. Can you tell me, how has Serena Williams made an impact on the world of tennis?
Well, she's an amazing athlete and an amazing personality, and she has certainly diversified the game. Even though there were some players before her, she's the breakthrough player. Absolutely.
What about for you?
Well, for me, it's incredible to see a strong woman and a strong mother playing the game as well as she is still. So
Yes. What do you girls think about Serena Williams?
I just think she's awesome.
She's awesome.
I think she's a great role model.
She's a great role model, you said? What do your shirts say, girls?
That generation.
Net Generation. Do you have anything on the back of your shirts? Let's tennis. Okay. With both of you being mothers, how has Serena giving birth, and she came, she wasn't playing tennis for a while due to being a mother, just being a woman. How do you think that others reacted to that in the world of tennis and sports in general, dealing with the female diversity?
Actually, sports has a huge gender inequality issue, and this is across the board, and we're very happy for tennis and soccer that have elevated equal pay for men and women in the sport. and tennis in particular for actually not knocking down women in the rankings during pregnancy, because this is part of life. Men and women are part of creating children. Men don't get docked. So I think it's an amazing thing that she was able to give birth, stand strong, and fight for that gender equality.
How has Serena's diversity transformed the world of tennis?
Well, tennis has always been, one color, and to have Serena and Venus both come in and outperform all of their contemporaries and continue to outperform, it's really just incredible to watch. And just walking around here today, you see a vast spectrum of people from all nationalities.
Yes. Girls, how long have you been playing tennis?
I've been playing tennis since I was 8.
Since you were,
Last year since I was 8.
for 1 year, since you were 8. And how about you, Piper?
I've been playing tennis since I was 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm 9 now, so that's been 5 years.
Very nice, very nice. Very nice. So, are there any other athletes, girls, that you look up to in professional sports?
I look up to Katie Ledecky.
Can you say it a little louder?
Katie Ledecky.
Yes.
I think she's amazing because she's the best woman athlete.
Okay.
The best woman swimming athlete there is.
Very nice. How about you,
I
Piper?
look up to Florence Joyner,
Yes.
track and field star.
Very well, very well. And lastly, moms, as a mom having young daughters that's in a sport where it's not a lot of cultural diversity, especially seeing women like Serena and Venus, how do you teach your daughters that you may be the only one or you may be one of a few, but to still strive hard and to continue to work hard? I'll start with you.
I think that's just part of our everyday narrative in our family and at home is, do your best, work hard. It doesn't matter what you look like or what your last name is or where you're from. Everybody is on the same playing field.
Yes, thank you.
I would say absolutely. It's about believing in yourself, knowing who you are, and not letting anybody bring you down, because there's always going to be people out there, especially race-related microaggressions, that are going to try to tear you down, and you can't let that affect you. You got to be who you are and be the best you that you can be, and that's what I always try to tell Piper.
And I know Piper.
She's an amazing young person.
Thank you. And I know Piper and let me have your name again.
Olivia.
Piper and Olivia have been friends since a very young age, although they're still young. Have you encountered any problems with you just being friends because you're different skin colors? That is awesome, and I'm happy to hear that, and I hope that never has to happen. And the world of sports, like I like your Afro puffs. I love them because it's your natural hair and you can relate to Serena. Mom, how do you teach her to be herself, including hair?
Well, actually, that's a big bonding experience for us, because hair is important, especially socially and culturally. I think it's really important as a black girl. And so I spend a lot of time learning, and it's a time for us to bond, because it takes time.
Yes.
So we have a lot of talks during that time. Talks about all kinds of things, but also self-affirmations, and making sure that she always feels positive about herself and her beautiful skin and her beautiful hair.
Wonderful. And that's key, is learning. When you don't know, to try to challenge yourself to learn about something you don't know. And so how do you, Mom, with your daughter Olivia being young but still have a friend of a different race and in a sport, how do you tell her that it's okay to be different, and how do you teach her the differences and how to push through them even when someone may not want to be friends with them as a group?
Well, I think it's important, it's okay to be curious, right? And if Olivia has a question about Piper's hair, she asks her, and I think, Dina's raising Piper to be able to answer those questions and educate Olivia. So there's a learning piece there for her. And I think that she'll take that with her forever, whether it's about skin color or religion or gender identity. ask questions if you don't understand.
Yes, that is so important. That's key. You ask questions if you don't understand, and you said listen.
Listen.
And it's important that you listen to those who are actually in it and get their experiences, because they will help teach you and help you grow.
And there are nuances. There are always nuances to situations and contexts, and how you might perceive or absorb something is not the same way that someone else is perceiving it or absorbing it. And so it's really important to listen and learn about different people's experiences, even in similar scenarios, because they are different often.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thank both of you. And where are you from?
I'm originally from California, but live in Rockland County.
And where are you from, ma'am?
I grew up in Rockland County, and we live there now.
Okay, and that's New York?
Yes.
Thank you. Square Root Justice is in California, Southern California. So I thank you for taking the time, and giving us your experience here at the U.S. Open in New York. And girls, I wish you a happy and a great school year, and keep hitting the balls, keep playing. Thank you.
That fit set was like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Hi, Miss Tanya. I understand you're here at the U.S. Open to see Serena Williams tonight.
Yes, go Serena.
Yes. Can you tell me what's her legacy in the world of tennis?
Oh my God, it's beyond measures. I mean, this crowd is here for Serena. I bought a $500 ticket just to sit inside and see Serena, and not in Arthur Ashe. It's unbelievable. And I mean, she's changed it, and she can control the crowd. So she seems like I never met her, but she seems like a very good person. And I know her tennis is A1.
How is the atmosphere inside the Arthur Ashe Stadium while she's playing?
Everyone is pulling for Serena. It's like when you get all minds together, she can't do nothing but win, because everybody is pulling for Serena.
Why do you think so many counted her out coming into this what may possibly be her last professional, match? Why did so many count her out, you think?
Because they don't know where her strengths come from. Any other person that set out for a whole year and tried to come back would not look like Serena.
Okay.
So they don't know where her strength is coming from. So they have a tendency just to say she's normal, but she's not normal.
So has the tennis world or professional sports evolved, because she's now a mother, and she took that time away to be a mother because she is a woman? How does her example of that bridge the equity gaps in professional sports for women?
I think I don't. Her and Venus and Althea Gibson, all of them have done so much for the sport. And I still think that as far as bridging the gaps from motherhood and all of that, we still got a little ways to go. But that's why they count her down, because she went out for motherhood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's now that she want to raise her kids and possibly have more, that she wants to say, okay, evolving. She's evolving now.
Yes.
So, I mean, she's just a wonderful role model. Wonderful.
Okay. And her brand, what does it mean to young girls coming up, or those who may be interested in, professional sports or tennis alone? How does her brand signify, and it's a welcome to others to the sport?
I mean, I'll tell you what, I am a tennis player. I lost my husband, and I sit there and I watch Serena. And I mean, when Serena lost, I would have a bad day. When Serena won, oh, I'm happy, I'm ready. And it was so funny, because when I went to play tennis, everybody thought that I had played. So she not only affects the young, which I mean, I can just imagine just seeing someone that looks like you doing the things that she's doing, you know. I can just imagine how a young kid would take it. But I mean, I'm old. I'm older than Serena. And she has that effect on me too. So, and then, I mean, it's unbelievable because it binds the races, white, black, it doesn't all, everybody. So that's lovely too.
What do you think is next for Serena?
I think she's gonna have more kids, and I think she's gonna be a great business woman. I mean, everything she touched moves. So there's only up for Serena.
We have to give, kudos to her parents for raising her, even her faith, because they were Jehovah's Witnesses. My sisters are Jehovah's Witnesses, but she still competed and dominated in the world of tennis, women tennis. Kudos to her parents in doing that. And you're a tennis coach and player, and my condolences to you on the loss of your husband. But what does it say for the parents to raise not one, but two girls, not two girls, but two black women in the sport of tennis, where they were in a field alone for so many years?
Her parents, like I said, I never met Serena or her parents, but her parents were wonderful because not only did they raise Serena and Venus, but I hear that they have more successful women in their family, proud women in their family. So that is wonderful. That is awesome.
Anything you'd like to say about Serena in closing? And Venus for the world of tennis?
Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Square Root Justice fans, you heard it right here. We're at the U.S. Open Live. Serena's getting ready to play. Thank you.
Square Root Justice.